Hi again folks, Alan here, up at the allotment. Pretty miserable day today. It's pouring down, gale force winds, so there's not a great deal I can do outside, so I thought we'd give you a little bit of a tour around the some of the pigeon lofts and some of the birds that I have, just in case anyone's interested. So I've basically just done a 4-week clean out of one of the lofts. I'm on the deep litter system obviously because I work as well. So what I'm going to do is just turn the camera around now and I'll let you have a look at this loft here. It's just about 40 or 50 years old this now, but I've done a bit of renovation on it when I took over the allotments 10 years ago, and it works quite well. So in this particular loft there's 9 nest boxes. There is capacity at the bottom for to actually have 12 nest boxes, but I blocked those off because they were too low down and a bit difficult to get to. So I'm going to spin the camera around now and just give you a quick look inside the loft. If you just bear with me a second. Okay, so it took a little bit of fathoming out how to turn the camera around there. I'm only using my mobile phone. So but inside here, this is basically a loft. As I say, it's 40-50 years old. Done a bit of renovation, bit of a painting out and everything. These nest boxes here are what I built myself. There's 9 nest boxes, as I say. They're 2 feet wide by 15 inches deep. And these are just this particular loft is just for garden fantails. So in here I made some grills. Basically the birds stand on these grills here, and as you can see they're up off the ground, so that when the poo they drops through there onto the shavings, which dries it all up and keeps the birds perfectly healthy. These grills here are just something I made myself out of some wire mesh. On the underside you'll just see a button on the bottom, 2 in the middle for a bit of support, and 1 on the other side. And they simply lift out, and then it's very simple to clean the perches off, and it only requires doing about once every 4 weeks. The birds are kept up out of their own mess, and consequently the birds get kept healthy. So on the floor you'll see I have grills. These are plastic grills. These are manufactured and purchased at quite a bit of an expense early in the year. All of the lofts have these in now due to time constraints with work, but it does make life much more easy and still enables me to continue with my hobby. Just to give you an example, if we lift this up, you'll see that the grills can easily be lifted out, and then underneath we have a similar scenario where we have dry wood chips on the bottom. Excuse me. And this, because these grills are 8 inches off the floor, basically gives you several weeks, maybe up to 12 weeks, 3 months before you need to lift the grills, and then it's just a quick scrape underneath, clean out the mess, drop the grills back down and sprinkle some more shavings, and you're good to go again for another 12 weeks or so. They're also extremely strong, as you can see. I'm standing on these. They have legs on the bottom, plastic legs, and these are great for keeping your pigeons on and keeping them nice and clean. So that's the internals of the loft. So a quick scoot round shows us we have a window here, and here I made a slider that can be opened from the outside and closed from the outside. So I'm just going to slide this back now. I can keep the birds in the aviary basically while I'm cleaning out, and there's no escapees. So in here we just have some garden fantails, as you can see. and we only have 6 birds in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, no, we only have 5 left in here. I sold a pair last week. I sold one of the males and one of the females. These are all males or cock birds. I'm not even keeping all of these. I'm only keeping two males, 2 females for breeding. The other ones are surplus to requirements and will be for sale if anyone's interested. I have my own website as well, which I advertise birds on frequently, called www.pigeons-for-sale.co.uk. So if you're interested in purchasing racing pigeons or fantails, coloured pigeons, please pop on over there and take a look and see what's available on the site. Anything that's on the site is available, and let me know. You can sign up to the website. It's totally free, and you get a £10 credit to advertise your own birds if you so wish. So I'll come back to you shortly once we've been in the other lofts and had a bit of a clean out, and we'll give you another look at some of the other birds. Thank you. Okay guys, so I'm back again now. Where we're at now is we're in the other side of this shed. That's where we just showed you the fantails. So we're in the other side now. This can accommodate a lot more birds. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 there. And then, as you see, some more box perches. So basically these here are all what I built myself just over a weekend when I was doing this loft out. So I just want to get this absolutely clear. This is not a promotional video. I am simply showing you what I do, what I use, etc. So on the floor, underneath these perches here, you will see I have some bedding, which, because these are the areas where you will have most of the pigeon muck, this is put here to dry it up as soon as it drops on the ground, directly under the perches. Now then, under the other perches, I don't have a board there, but I'm thinking about doing it. So I have the grills and they drop straight under the grills. So I've lifted the grills up and we've had a bit of a clean up underneath there and got rid of all the worst. And as you can see, they're all back down again now, and the shed's ready to go again. This here is just what I use. It's called Easy Bed. It's a fantastic product, but as I say, it's not a promotional video. And this is basically what it is. It's chippings of wood, but it's just extracted as well. So that obviously helps with the health of me and the animals and the pigeons, the chickens. It's used with the chickens as well. Really good product. So out here you'll see in the other little aviary from this loft, you'll see some cockbirds. 90% of these are also for sale and surplus to requirements. Some stuffed Van Riet racing pigeons, and some of the coloured birds are in here as well. The blue white flights and pieds and blues, stuffed Van Riet. The reds are bush arts. But yeah, we're slightly out of focus today. I'm not sure why. A bit of muck on the lens or something. But we also have some coloured birds in here. There's a recessive red there, with some blacks. In the corner we have an indigo, who's just flew into picture now. So that's an indigo checker. So these are the birds that live in this quarter. There's approximately 15 birds in this side. So as you can see, we have more than enough perches in here for these birds. And because the fresh air just blows through these windows all day and all night long, the birds are perfectly healthy. And as you see, we're going to let them return back into the loft now because they're a little bit crammed in the small aviary, and they're wanting to get back in the loft now. So another thing I just wanted to show you is down here we have some stands. This is basically where the drinker sits. Inside here you can put grit and minerals, etc. It's quite a clever little stand, this. We can lift off the water and we can open the lid on this, and in there you can see in one side of the divider we have some minerals in pots, and we have grit in there, and the birds can eat from both sides. That folds back down, the water goes back on top, and everybody's happy. So I'm just going to get the birds back in now, and we'll give you a quick look again as soon as we've done that. So again, I made a slider on this side as well, which can be opened from the inside and the outside, so I can lock the birds in here if I need to from the outside prior to me coming in the loft. So here we go again, just another quick look at one or two of the birds. That's an indigo check. Yeah, some other birds in here, so I'll let the birds come back in now, and we can take a look at the birds as they enter the loft. As you can clearly see in here, we have more than enough space for the 15 birds that's in here. This is basically a bit of a holding shed where the surplus birds can be held, but they live communally, and as you can see they have loads and loads of space to fly around in here. This shed is approximately 10 feet by 8 feet wide, and it's basically an extension. It's all one loft basically. In here I'm actually now standing in the cabin area, so there's a bit of a trapping area here, which is basically full of junk. It's where I keep tools and a few bits and sods and feeders, corn bins, water, nest pans, etc. So this is the basically it's just the area between the two lofts where the fantails are and where the race birds are, stroke coloured pigeons. Again, I made it this way. It was one loft all the way through, but I made it this way to suit my needs. Okay, hope you've enjoyed the videos. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Any comments, please put them below, and I'll try to answer your comments. Thank you. Okay, so here we are again. This is the outside of those two lofts that we've just been in, where the fantails are and the surplus birds. They don't look too big from the outside, but as you can see, they are quite a size. The aviaries aren't massive, but they're sufficient. That lets the birds come out, get the fresh air, etc. This is the cabin area sort of thing I was talking about earlier on. So this allows me to go in between the two lofts, where I store the water and feed and everything. And then this door lets me through in where the fantails are. And of course this door is where we've just been looking at the birds on the other side. So it just happens to be convenient. It could also be a race loft if I wanted to go back to racing pigeons, and we could have the birds trapping into this area with little bobs on the side of the walls where they would then go into the loft and couldn't get back out. But I don't see that for the foreseeable future. Thankfully the polytunnel's holding up. The gales we've been getting up here have been pretty bad. It's been doing a bit of rattling around, but it's managed to hold out, so that's good. And just another quick look at the coloured birds. As I say, the allotment does need tidied up, but it's not the weather to do so. So in here, these are all female birds, and these birds here are all parted from the males and have been for several months to give them adequate rest before the breeding season starts again. So yeah, we'll give you a closer inspection of that on another video at some point. Again, this is the chicken pen. The birds out foraging. They are back on lay again now with putting the lights in from the last video. But it's only slow going at the moment, and as you see, the weather's not brilliant, and even though we threw shavings down over there, it's still pretty dire in here. It's very nice when the summer comes round and all this grass is back up again, but yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. Haven't got a chance to get a start on the garden inside, which is through there. I showed you in an earlier video. That's still to do when I find the necessary time. So the next tour that we're going to give you is the inside, and again, excuse some of the rubbish lying around at the moment because it's not the weather to be doing things really. So this is the 24-foot loft that myself and my son built from scratch. I just want to add as well, everything that we build, I build, there isn't a single nail in this shed. It's all held together by screws, and the reason for that is if ever I need to make any modifications, etc., I can unscrew everything in minutes without damaging any of the wood, reuse it and do the modification, etc., with minimal fuss. So we'll give you a tour through this loft perhaps on our next video. Okay, thanks for watching, bye.